Our band played a hog roast down in Bluerock, and we were camping in the state park. It was early autumn, the leaves were changing, and it was looking to be a cold night. We were packing up to go to bed, and Jenny remembered to put the food under cover. We didn't want raccoons to raid the site and tear up all they could find. After the gig, we had a good time singing around the fire and pulling on a bottle of Old Crow that Kelly had brought. The music felt real good and the fire was nice and warm, though the green wood was a little smoky. It was Johnny Be Good, if tomorrow never comes and hard times come again no more. Then it got to be time to settle in for the night and snuggle in with my honey. Along about 2, the howling began. It sounded on the ridge far behind us. Then came an answer from across the valley, and you know just how evil that was. Then the howling turned to snarls as the animals came on, loping around the campground all in a pack. I could see the fearsome eyes, smell the foul breath. Cries of the prey sounded like torture on the rack. And that's why to this day, no matter what they say, there just ain't no coons in Bluerock. Someone said there were coyotes all over the place, but I never thought I'd hear them. We settle in under our sleeping bags, caps on our heads against the frigid night air. I managed to drift off, warm and toasty, even though the night sounds came right on in through the tent walls. I could hear the other campers fixing to go to sleep. The sound carries long on a chill night air. Along about 2, the howling began, and it sounded on the ridge far behind us. Then came an answer from across the valley, and you know just how evil that was. Then the howling turned to snarls as the animals came on, loping around the campground all in a pack. I could see the fearsome eyes, smell the foul breath. Cries of the prey sound like torture on the rack. That's why to this day, no matter what they say, there just ain't no coons in Bluerock. I leaped up and looked out to see what was going on. All I could see were red eyes staring back at me and moving all around the campground. The howls and snarls didn't sound like anything that was alive, and it sent shivers running down my spine. I couldn't tell if they were animal, alien, ghost, or all three, but it's surely something I never again want to see. Along about 2, the howling began and sounded on the ridge far behind us. Then came an answer from across the valley, and you know just how evil that was. Then the howling turned to snarls as the animals came on, loping around the campground all in a pack. I could see the fearsome eyes, smell the foul breath. Cries of the prey sound like torture on the rack. And that's why to this day, no matter what they say, there just ain't no coons in Bluerock. We woke in the morning and wandered round the camp, looking for prints that were surely there. But the more we looked, the more it became certain there just were no prints anywhere. We quickly broke camp, headed back to home, wondering just what really happened. All I know is what I heard and saw, and I'll never forget that cold touch of fear. Along about 2, the howling began, and it sounded on the ridge far behind us. Then came an answer from across the valley, and you know just how evil that was. Then the howling turned to snarls as the animals came on. I see the fearsome eyes, smell the foul breath, and the cries of the prey sound like torture on the rack. That's why to this day, no matter what they say, there just ain't no coons in Bluerock. Now, I don't know what happened that night, and I think about it every year around this time. Maybe it was real, maybe it was the Old Crow, but I know one thing for a fact. If you go down to Bluerock and camp, you don't have to worry too much about keeping food locked up, because no matter what they say, even today, there just ain't no raccoons down in Bluerock. Along about 2, the howling began. It sounded on the ridge far behind us. Then came an answer from across the valley, and you know just how evil that was. Then the howling turned to snarls as the animals came on, loping around the campground all in a pack. I could see the fearsome eyes, smell the foul breath, cries of the prey sound like torture on the rack. And that's why to this day, no matter what they say, there just ain't no coons in Bluerock.